Are we on? We're on.
Everyone, please have a seat. Have a seat.
Before we start, can I just say thank you for coming out, everybody, and supporting.
Say that. You can't tell them thank you.
In a thunderstorm, I know it's not easy. Also, I noticed that the Italian scene between Luca and his partner, there was supposed to be subtitles. I was like, where are the subtitles? So I don't want someone to get fired tonight. That's crazy. But basically...
Now they will.
Luca was like, she's here, and I can't believe she was with her ex, and now and he's just like, well, did y'all fuck? He's like, I'm not gonna tell you, but do you know how to fix a shower? That is the scene. Okay, hi, Wyatt.
Hi there. Hi. See, I thought it was a creative choice where you were trying to encourage people to sign up for Duolingo. Yeah. But I want to take a moment right now because this is the season premiere of season 2, which that is worthy of a round of applause. But also what makes this unique is that you all didn't get to do this for season 1. And so if you all could give them double the applause because they didn't get that opportunity in season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in competition with capitalism, so we had to figure out that contract to do what we need to do. And, now we're here and we get to celebrate with you guys, which is, just amazing.
Yeah, how does that feel getting to celebrate? Because last time, for those who didn't know, the show premiered right before the writers and SAG strike. And so as a result, Michelle and the whole cast, they couldn't promote the show. So, yeah, how does it feel to have this opportunity to feel this love from people and get to experience them watching the show?
I mean, good is not the word. Great is not the word. Oh. It feels like earned because when you put yourself out there, you audition, and then you're like, no, I'm not auditioning. I need to work, and it's like, and then you get the role, and then you put up the show, and then there's the edit, and then you have the moment where you get to share it with the public. That's also a moment, a part of the process that we were robbed of. And it feels like it sucks because, this show really is the little show that could, for the voices that should. And so the fact that we get to be here with you now is everything because we were texting. I was in Amsterdam FaceTiming with Tasha, super drunk. Girl, did you see the scene? Did you see Peppermint? We were just FaceTiming each other the whole time. I think I group FaceTimed you guys in a supermarket in Amsterdam to be like, did you see what people said? Because there was no one to share it with, so this is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Now, this show was inspired by your book, Survival of the Thickest, which, round of applause, who has that book?
Oh, yeah. Well, more people need the book.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't, fucking go buy it. But it was inspired by your book, and I'm curious how much of the show and the series and the book itself is inspired by real life.
Yeah, I mean, the book was such a fuck nut to write because I'm just like, I could barely finish a book. How am I going to write one? And then I did that writer's thing. I was just like, who's going to read it? Where's it going to go? But then I was just like, bitch, get it together and just finish something you said you're going to do. And so I wrote the book, and the right person read it, a great executive at Netflix called Kristen Zollner, and she was like, this needs to be a show. I'm like, yes, it do. And so as I was working with my creator and showrunner, Danielle Sanchez-Witzel, we pulled themes and messages from my life, like mission statements, like inclusivity and confidence. And, as I'm climbing something, I'm pulling people up behind me and next to me, and fairness and loyalty and just buffoonery and sex, and just sex positive shit. And so we pulled some stories out of the book, like you cannot make up. No one wrote she got gum stuck on some guy's dick in the back of a taxi. No one could. That actually happened to me. Mom, earmuffs. Cover your ears, Mom. I lived a life, bitch.
Wait. I'm sorry.
My mom's got to accept me no matter what.
I mean, she doesn't, but okay.
She doesn't. She'll pray about it tomorrow in her church group, but it was little stories like that where I'm like, you cannot make this up. I'm tired of telling my friends at like brunch, let's put it in a show and change some lives. So this is a good amount.
If I can, and yes, the book is amazing because I started reading it and then.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
She like, you read? No.
I mean, we were all thinking it.
Well,
we were all thinking it.
I'm kind of surprised.
Well, I did get to chapter 3 and was like, I wonder if there's an audiobook. And but here's the thing, there is, and can I just be me? This motherfucker starts reading the audiobook, and let me tell you something. Do yourself a favor, because this crazy person here reads her own audio, and it sounds. It's her, okay?
Yeah.
It
It's
is
a show.
so funny to listen to the audiobook. So do yourself a favor, buy it, and then listen to it. It's unbelievable.
Well, so that kind of brings me to something because, Michelle, you and I have known each other a long time through stand-up.
Yeah.
And you're an amazing stand-up. You're about to go out on tour again.
Yes. Oh, my
Yes.
God. What?
But you're a stand-up, you wrote a book. Those are very sort of singular writing experiences. And for this, you mentioned your co-showrunner, Danielle, and I'm curious, how was that experience now sort of sharing that and taking your stories and putting them in the hands and the trust of other people?
Yeah, I mean, co-show running, co-creating with another person and also an entity like Netflix, it felt like a rite of passage, like adulthood for me as an artist and also as a woman, because when I started stand-up, I really had to find my voice, ask for things without apologizing, take compliments without apologizing, just a lot of fucking apologizing. I'm just like, why am I apologizing? And so it was the same. Learning how to be a true collaborator is really figuring out how to listen, how to, listen to another person, but also listen to your intuition, which I think is divine. Like, that's a divine gift we don't like take advantage of, because we're always taught rules. And so it was just a really just excellent experience. I really feel like Netflix done open Pandora's box, because I'm like, where are the next 5 seasons, motherfuckers? Like, this is fun. Let's come create more stuff.
Yeah. Well, this season, what's fun, too, is in season 2, and it always feels like that's what kind of happens when you have some success with season 2, you get the guest stars. And like season 1, people were like, I don't know this show, I'm not going to do it.
That's true.
But season 2, they all they want to be part of the fun you're having.
Yeah.
And you had an incredible number of guest stars this season, and I believe we have a clip that we're going to show.
Oh, my
so you
God.
all get to see a little sneak preview. And this will be in Italian. So just be prepared. Or sorry, to be in English, but with Italian subtitles. But this is from episode 2.
Busy panicking, like,
here we go.
I couldn't even see the hieroglyphics through the forest.
Me too.
Like, you got me looking like a hologram in the motherland. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I love
Like,
it!
I look like how Wakandans must feel. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Do it with me.
That's beautiful.
Let's lock in. I love it.
I love it too, so much. I mean, it's my honor and privilege to just elevate your iconic styles, so I can definitely focus on your on your act, because fashion is an adventure. And this is Afro-punk. We're supposed to be free and wild.
You got a vibe as good as your fashion sense.
Aw.
I mean it.
Can I give you a big titty bear hug?
It's the 8th one of the day. But I'm into it.
Okay,
Come on.
thanks.
All right. Be blessed.
Okay, you too. See, Mavis, you can't even tell you're hi.
Yes, I can.
Oh, my
All
God.
right.
Oh, my God.
So that was Anderson .Paak in the second episode, Free and Wild, where Mavis and the gang, they all go to Afropunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was
Amen.
really fun to see that. Yeah, how was that to do an Afropunk episode? Because that feels so specific to New York. And I think what's great is seeing this friendship exist in these spaces and places that are very much New York City.
Yeah. I mean, it's my life. Like, I have gone to Afropunk with my friends and gotten too high to do some shit. So I'm like, let's put it in the show, because what I always want to do, whether it's a comedy special or a TV show, is it's 191 countries. That's not nothing. If you can't afford to come to New York, or there's like some reason why you can't leave your country, I want to bring New York to you. I'll bring that experience to you. And like, Peppermint, Tasha, and a couple other friends here. I don't think you were in town yet. We went on a float for Gay Pride and had a time. So like we were actually out here doing stuff, figuring out our dosage. So it's like, do you know what I mean? And it's not just for 20-something-year-olds. It's like, ooh, when you hit that like adulthood in your 40s and 50s at a festival, you know your food is hot. You got VIP to the good bathroom that's not a plastic bathroom. It's like, that is living motherfucker VIP tent. So yeah, it was like, this is my Brooklyn. I've always wanted to show my Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and what's nice, too, with the show is you're showing your Brooklyn, but you're also showing friendships. And you really invested a lot in this dynamic of these 4 friends. And I wonder if you could talk about just how you were inspired in sort of wanting to create this ensemble that you then got these amazing, wonderfully talented actors to step into these roles and play.
I mean, you know, I could cast a show with big names and Hollywood shit, but I'm the only child, you're the only child, you're the only child, you're the only child. You are a twin, I have twins. It's important for me to be with people who understand my heart. You know, because we're spending time with each other all day. And so everyone becomes your work wife. And it's important for me, you know, that saying, you are the company you keep. That's with everybody. That's with the catering. That's with your co-stars. That's with your wardrobe people. That's with everybody. They are in your business and you're in theirs, for better or for worse. And so you want to be there for each other because that is real chemistry. That is gold. That's how I want to act. I want to protect people in front and behind the camera. And so it was important for me, especially as the only child. I do use that term for my friend's chosen family. You know, the person that I wrote the Marley character is right here. Terry, she just put on her chapstick. Stand up, bitch. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's important because I think all of us treat our friends like, you know, we hold them up and they hold us down. And so that was everything for me, like chemistry. I'm like, we could be funny, but chemistry and, you know, making good sense is fucking everything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to talk to some of the friends now. Tone, you play Khalil, and...
I do. Thank you, Wyatt.
Yeah, that was my question. That was my question. Moving on. All right. Michelle, back to you.
All right, good night, guys.
No, I wonder if you could talk about Khalil and his journey this season. Like, what when you started to see the scripts for season 2, what was going through your head as far as where we're going to see Khalil go this season?
Yeah, it was watching.
Also knowing that you can't read, so
I mean,
I'm assuming
it's
his words.
That's Tasha's words, by the way.
It's true. It's true.
I was joking.
Anyway, you illiterate fool. What were you thinking about season 2?
I definitely was thinking because I wasn't reading. Anyway, it was great. It's getting season 1 in and starting off somewhere, especially because like I'm not from New York, never lived here, and then knowing.
You remember when I asked you if you could do a New York accent?
And I was like, ooh, we don't have the money for that. I think I tried it. You were like, ooh, no, bitch, shut up.
Now I kind of want to hear it.
Oh no, we're not doing that, Wyatt. No, it was season 1 and season 2 was so much fun of getting a chance to learn the city and learning the people and meeting Peppermint and then spending this much time because as a stand-up, I see you in the airport more than I see you in a city. I see you, Wyatt, Michelle, Tasha, like I see everyone, and I'm just meeting Peppermint the last couple of years, but I've known y'all for like 15 years. So seeing everyone in passing at a festival or something like that was very cool. But getting season 1 was amazing to get to live here and feel it out, and also learning more about somebody I've known for 15 years. Really, just learning more about Michelle and the stories. And we've talked about wild, crazy shit, and then reading it, hearing it, and then getting a chance to be a part of it was amazing. And then season 2, going oh, I'm getting a chance to kind of do something I've been doing in my real life with Khalil's journey of finding a therapist because things aren't going right, and being an artist, being an actor, being a comic, man, shit is peaks and valleys all the time, and sometimes you don't know how to express it. So, and you can go into a very dark place, and Khalil having his art and wanting to transition and not knowing how to, not knowing who to speak to. We finally see him with friends. We don't even know he has male friends until this season, right? You see him with his girls, which is always great. I mean, in my real life, I hang out with a lot of women, but also my guy friends. It's such a delicate balance, and I'm so glad I got a chance to do it because I felt very comfortable because I'd already been through it in my real life. So no, it was a great journey, and I appreciate it, to be honest with you. I appreciate being able to show it.
Yeah.
That was an actual conversation I had with my friend Rashim that I wrote the character after. I was like, I don't know how to speak to this for you.
Yeah.
I think you should talk to one of your guy friends.
Yeah.
And that like hit hard in that conversation because it was always ask your mom, ask your sister, ask your best friend. You know what I mean? And I was like, this feels like you should talk to a dude. And so I'm so glad we got to do that.
And I will say too, I mean, it's been, I think, you know, you get a chance to, I mean, maybe not relax or settle in, but season 2 feels a little more going, all right, we can play with this a little bit more. Season 1, you're like, I gotta get this shit right because we want a season 2. Season 2 was like they love season 1, so now we get.
Is that how you felt?
Yeah, of course.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, season 1, I was like, blow it up, bitch. We might not come back. Let's live like tomorrow's not. Do everything. I was like, poor Marwan, the guy that plays Luca. I was like, motorboat me. He's like, what's his dad? I was like, oh fuck. He was like, let's go, bitch. Like, you know, I was like, let's go. We might not be here tomorrow.
Well, one of the things for Khalil this season.
I'm sorry. Why? I'm sorry. That's shoot. All right. I'm just gonna say. I'm sorry. I have to say this real quick. Season 2. Me and Marwan were staying at the same apartment complex, and one morning he goes, "Tone, are you getting good sleep?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting pretty good sleep." He goes, "My pillows are this thick." So
Why do you make him sound like Dorian Gray?
I don't know.
That's his New York accent.
Yeah, that's my New York accent.
He's doing his New York.
I'm sorry, why? Go ahead.
No, wait. Did you?
No, he was just telling me, like, every night he's sleeping like this because he's like, my pillows are a foot thick. And then I was like, man, take a picture of your pillows. Let me see them. And then he shows it to me. I'm like, goddamn, them some big-ass pillows.
You know what's so funny? Every time a guy complains to me, I'm like, have you had your period N-word and had somebody say, why aren't you smiling? It's like, okay. Have you had a corset on and try to sit in a scene all day long hoping that your titty sweat doesn't go through or that you burp? Or then again, you have a sex scene with someone and you're bleeding all over them and someone's just like, smile. So every time a guy complains, I want to be like, oh, but I'm just like, you have no fucking idea.
The pillow
That was
this
for 6
big.
women who get it and 2 men. Ooh, if men could just do something else. Wyatt, what is the question? No, don't do something else.
I thought you were
Wyatt,
asking
what
us
is
to
the
leave.
question?
I thought you were asking me and Tone to go. But wait, Tone, so this season, and you kind of hinted at it, Khalil in season 2 starts talking to a therapist.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that I feel like on television, for men in particular, for black men, you don't often see people like actively engage with therapy in that way. It's often like court ordered or something in a TV show. They're like reluctant, like, I don't want to be here. I'm sitting across from Lorraine Bracco.
Is the hour up? Like, it's like,
Yeah, so just being able to portray that, I wonder if you could talk about it and just the importance of kind of getting to destigmatize and normalize that a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was written so, I mean, you know, with a comedic tone to it, but it was so accurate because that journey I had in Tone's life, in my life, and seeing it on the page and then portraying it as Khalil for sure was pretty dead on because I had to audition therapists. Right, because I mean, I went to probably 2 or 3, and I mean, like, one of my therapists was, I mean, she was cute, so I'm like, I'm paying, but I'm like, yo, what we doing after this? And it felt like she was kind of too into it, so I was like, man, I can't trust you with my emotions if you're gonna let me. And so you have to find the right person, but also that's what it conveyed, and I think you really have to do that. And I think one of the weird parts about this season shooting it was because you know it's not always shot in order. And I think we shot the last part of it first. We shot it in the inverse. I think we shot it in reverse. And so coming back to meeting the therapist was very interesting because now I got to go, I don't know you. I don't know you. Hassan is so great, who played the doctor in that, and we were already so cool after doing multiple scenes together that I had to go back and go, oh no, what is this like? Step one.
Right. Also, I think what's so important, like even when I started therapy, no shade, Mom. My mom's like, why are you going to therapy? And I'm like, 'cause of you.
Yeah.
But not just you, but then I realized it's not you, it's like the generational shit that we've all had to, that you've taken upon, and you did the best job with me. Wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for therapy. And so an important scene like that, anybody of color could say, okay, I need to shop for a therapist.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Instead of be stuck. Because we get stuck with haircuts, doctors, all types of shit. We're like, I guess it's gonna be like this. So, and you played that so beautifully. And the first time he went to go see the doctor, Tasha directed it. And so we were all up in each other's business.
Yeah.
It was like emotional pap smears.
The best pap smears, the emotional ones. Well,
it was a great experience, though. It really
Yeah.
was, yeah. Being able to know these are Michelle's words and to have Tasha jump in and go like, yo, this is, let's talk about it, let's collaborate and see where we go with it was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I want to talk to Tasha about directing 2 of the episodes in a moment, but first, before we do that, I want to show a clip of Khalil from episode 6, where you have another new face this season, Tika Sumpter.
I hope it's the right clip.
Yeah.
I hope it's the right clip.
I haven't seen this yet, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, behold, my new artistic era. It's called hot trash Dookie Couture, if you will.
It seems like a stress response. You're just blocked.
Yeah, and I know there's something in there, right? But I don't know how to get to it.
Okay. We just need to shift the focus off of making something sellable. Forget about trying to sell anything. Khalil, in this moment, right? What do you want?
Tumble down lover's lane.
Yeah.
I said, oh, damn, Tone, you kind of sexy. I never knew.
Yes.
And I can't read.
Honestly, I looked at Tone's sex scene with Tika. I said, damn, Negro. I was peeking in the window, okay?
Well, with that in mind, I do want to talk to you, Tasha, about these actors that you've gotten to know over the course of season 1. You've gotten to know them over the course of season 2, and then, as Tone mentioned, you got to direct them in episodes 3 and 4, I believe. Is that right? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that experience of these people who are your co-stars now directing them, and especially in thinking about that scene, that episode where you have Khalil kind of engaging with a therapist. Like, I'm curious, what was that experience like for you getting to direct these people?
Well, first, can we give it up to Michelle Buteau, please? Like, please. Because the first thing I'll say is that it is a blessing to be able to support a Black woman in this industry. I've been around here for a long time, and it's like we see a lot of women come and go, and I always say that us women are not in competition, but in community. So to be able to stand with this woman and make sure that her show goes and is great is a blessing. So give it up to her, please. Yes.
And And not to now after you're saying support black women to interrupt you, but to interrupt you for a moment, I did want to point out though that to that end, I believe 70% of the department heads of this production were women. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's so important. Like, can you imagine being on a black show and showing up and someone that doesn't look like you or know your needs is there taking care of you and has never done it before? I've done it. We've all done it. It's fucking terrifying. And I'm just like, no, this is a for us, by us situation. And Will Sylvans, the comedian, told me, you know, he said, you know, go where, when you do comedy shows, wait a minute, what did he say? It doesn't matter. It's great. You guys, it's been a long life.
Yeah.
Well,
Tasha.
I'll finish talking, okay?
So with that in mind,
well,
Tasha, you got to direct.
I'll talk about it, though.
Yeah.
I got a chance to direct 2 episodes, and it was really interesting because, like you guys know, I came from Why Did I Get Married and all the Daddy's Little Girls, all the Tyler Perry stuff, and all of that. And when I transitioned into directing, and I came from stand-up comedy as well, but a lot of people didn't know that because it was years ago. But when I started directing, I felt like I needed to give my voice to something else. I wanted people to see a different side of me that they never saw. So I started directing like big dramas like the 911s and the Mayor of Kingstowns and P-Valleys and all of that, right? And then when Michelle invited me to not only be a cast member, but to also direct a couple of the episodes, I got an opportunity to go back to my roots, which were in comedy. I got to direct comedy, but I was able to give comedy with heart. And that's what the scene with Hassan and Tone was. It was beautifully done. And for me, like, I wanted it to be rooted and grounded in truth and honesty and not just try to hear the funny, because the funny was already there because we got a great writer. Okay, give it up by that, all right? Right? But it was just such a blessing to be able to collaborate with them and to be able to work with my friend and star of this show and to be able to just come in and lend my voice to this beautiful material. It was a blessing and it was a good time. And thank you, Michelle, and thank you, everybody, that you guys are watching the show.
It's like what Will Sylvans once said. Just kidding.
Yeah, what did Will say?
He said, Will Sylvans said, when you get really good at something, like when you get good in a room, in a comedy room, go to the room where like it's really hard for you and you're the worst and you'll get better. And I'm like, okay. What I took from that is be the change you want to see. So, you know, I learned from the good and the bad. And so I've been on TV sets and film sets where it's really bad. And I said, when I get my chance to do it, I'm gonna make it good. And so that's why, like, we are booking, like, black and brown and queer women to be in positions of power because they know what the fuck they're doing, period.
Yeah.
I remembered.
So you didn't just direct some episodes this season. Also, it sounds like is you didn't use that power to just try to break Tone's spirit, which is very nice. You could have been like, take 85, Tone. But you play Marley, who, as we know, is inspired by one of Michelle's real-life friends. I wonder if, how would you describe Marley in, like, 3 words? Like, what would be her kind of, like, the 3-word...
Bold, bad bitch, okay? A bold, bad bitch. That's how I would describe her.
Do you approve of that? Does that...
And honestly, like, because Terry is a bold, bad bitch. And you know what? It's something refreshing to see powerful women in the boardroom, to see a black woman that's confident, secure, voices her opinion, but then also has vulnerability and is discovering herself and her queerness and her ability to just surrender and allow herself to be loved. It's been such a beautiful journey because we never know what Michelle's writing. So it's almost like opening up a Christmas present, you know? You're like,
That's true. That's true.
Right?
You be like,
you're like,
a
what
word?
is it gonna be? Right? What's the words gonna be?
We're on a spaceship this time? Whoa!
Honestly, so it was just wonderful, and it was wonderful having like a queer relationship that I never had. But thank God I had a beautiful black woman, Jerry Johnson.
Sure, yes. Jerry's in this season. One thing I want to talk about that happens this season as well is Mavis and Marley go into business together. And I believe we have a clip that we're going to show from that, which
the right clip.
I believe is one that you directed. So, yeah.
Goodness gracious. Nala, why is it hotter in here than Paula Dean's place in hell?
Who's Paula Dean? Oh, that was probably before you were born. It's just racism and butter.
It's hot in here because Con Ed isn't getting back to me. I filled out the form online 3 times. I even did virtual assistant.
Really? Well, have you tried picking up the phone and calling?
I'm sorry, talking on the phone is a personal boundary of mine, so.
We have no lights, we have no electricity, and we have a whole weekend of work we can't do because Hannah Montana's scared of the phone.
Actually, that's not an insult because she's a complicated female character with a job and a secret.
Alexis Proctor Turner, everybody. She's amazing. Yeah.
One of the things that you talked about, go ahead. Did Will Sylvester say something else? Yeah.
What I really want to showcase in that relationship is the dynamic between black women in every generation. Because I have these beautiful women in my life that are in their 50s and they're just like, you can't tell me shit. Okay? And then I have these black women in my life that are in their 20s. They're just like, I need space. I'm gonna be late because I'm meditating. Like, can you check the date on that? Is that organic? I'm like, what? And so it's very interesting because my friends in their 50s that are self-made are just like, I don't ask for anything. I do it myself. And that's what you got to do, bitch. You know what I mean? And then my friends in my 20s and 30s, it's like, why y'all so stressed? What vacation are we taking? You know what I mean? It's like, and so I really want to show that dynamic of just like, you got to meditate now? Okay. But anyways.
Well, no, but that gets me to something, which is earlier you talked about that idea that, you know, for someone who couldn't maybe come to New York, couldn't come to Brooklyn, that this show, you could bring Brooklyn to them. And something else that I feel like you've done is also sort of modeling and showing different types of people, different types of relationships, even just the idea of 2 black women going into business together and just being able to show that to an audience around 190 countries, I believe, as you said. And so I don't actually believe there are 190 countries. I think the earth is flat. But I don't. Wow, you all really got judgy.
They did.
But no, I wonder if you could talk a little bit about just sort of, I think what feels like the mission statement of this show as far as trying to show people just kind of a world they may not always get to see on television.
Yeah, we see it on Instagram all the time. You know,
I was about to say I am Marley low key because I'll cash app somebody some money in a minute, okay? And I'm not even playing, but go ahead, girl.
Yeah,
I can give you my cash app.
It's true though.
It's
because I believe in giving, and what I love about what she wrote about Marley is that she's a black woman that, you know, there's a line that you wrote where she says that you say you're looking for a bank loan, and then Marley says, I am the bank loan.
Yeah.
Like to have a sister, a friend in your life that is the bank loan that you know you can go to, that's got your back, that's gonna give you some money if you need it, that's gonna help you out, support your business. That's showing the community of sisterhood, the unity of sisterhood. But go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Also, I am the bank loan too. Yes. I have 2 seasons of a show and made a lot of black jobs. I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna tell people, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what it is. I'm not gonna do an Instagram post. I'm gonna use a platform and make it hilarious. I'm gonna sneak in the vegetables and let you know what the fuck the world is too. It's us. We care about our mental health. We care about our art. we care about each other, and we fucking matter.
Bitch! Now, Peppermint, I want to get to you because you had a big season. Yeah, Peppermint. Now, there was already something in People magazine about your role this season, but we have a behind-the-scenes special look at Peppermint's big day from episode 6. And then I'm going to ask you some questions.
All right.
The category is love.
Survival of the thickest. It's our wedding day. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. It's gonna take, I think, 3 days for us to film the wedding.
Happy to be here. Offer the love, offer the gay shit.
Welcome to the wedding. Got me all dressed up, suited and booted. Right, Joyce. Have a great day.
Life is great.
This is almost as chaotic and hectic as a real wedding, or probably even more, because there's a lot more cameras. Okay, yeah. Okay, and walk, walk, walk.
Before the season started, I remember Michelle just said to me, there's one thing I know I want to do this season is I want Peppermint to get married, because we don't often see trans women getting married.
A gay wedding is something that people have seen, but this is actually with a trans woman and a heterosexual man. Blow your mind. Michelle, she's more than an ally. She's definitely a part of the queer community because of her connection, because of her love.
Everybody say love.
A wedding seems out of this world. Given my real experience, I know that a lot of my other trans sisters go through the same thing in meeting men. They're sexually attracted to us. They want to be around us, but they're ashamed to be with us. They certainly don't want anybody to know that they're with us. The people who aren't trans get to see how we should be treated. Oh my gosh, rehearsal was wild. I felt like so out of sorts because I've never gotten married before. Anyway, we're gonna do it again.
Peppermint was so excited about the idea of her even getting married. You almost felt like it was a real wedding. There were so many silhouettes that worked on her body, but I think the one that we ended with was so princess-like and so elegant. If you know Peppermint, she's gonna scream. If she screams, then it's lit. It is the one.
I am a bad bitch. Ready, ready, ready. Work. I am a sad bitch. Ready.
Cracking brewskis with the broskis over here. Pre-gaming for the wedding. This, I promise, this is gonna be the most beautiful moment.
Michelle wanted the actual ceremony to be really traditional and elegant and sophisticated, but then we also wanted to bring in the ball culture. Directing the ballroom scenes.
This block in particular is full of so many really important moments.
The category is love, y'all.
Yes, honey. We're doing a wedding scene around Miss Peppermint. You know it has to be foul.
I wanna get married.
You are invited.
I'm a putty girl, let's get this party jumping. I'm a putty girl, let's get this party jumping. I'm a putty girl, let's.
We have Courtney Balenciaga, Boom Balenciaga, Honey, and the dancers and the Vulgars from Legendary. We had to come in, like guns blazing. This season is really letting people know that we are here, we're living our dreams. This is where we are today.
Cheers to Peppermint!
We're gonna dance and celebrate you, and then later we're gonna celebrate me, bitch. Oh, God.
Yeah. Peppermint, you've been acting for a while, and what did it feel like to have these kind of stories for you to get to portray?
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. It's kind of like what Tone said, like, I wanted in season 1 just to be able to like hold on to a job, and my mind was blown that I was not just brought here to be like in one scene and saying we checked a box, because I think the industry knows that, like, with different groups, with a black woman, with a black queer person, with a trans person or whatever, we could check a box. Like, they know we can check that box. And that's like the least that a lot of producers and showrunners and creators need to do. And then they feel like, well, we had one this season, that's it for one episode. But this was just so much more than that. And all of that you get to experience on the on the TV screen, it is everything that these folks have been describing behind the scenes as well. And so I have been to so many sets where, yeah, they won a ball and they got the people they hired them. But like, damn, if you don't feel like the only outcast sitting and waiting for them to call you for your scene, because the camera people are looking at you when they walk by, like, you just don't feel like you belong. And that is not my experience. It's the furthest I feel like I belong on this, and it feels so special.
Your family.
Thank you. So it feels great.
Yeah. And thinking about that, we see it at the end of that featurette there. What was it like having House of Balenciaga there in the wedding? And just, yeah, I wonder if you could talk a little bit about even just how all of that came together.
It's like, listen. Okay, I'm gonna say kind of what I just said, but in cooking terms. And I don't cook. So get ready. But I eat. And so, when you've had, like, I don't know, some kind of really good sweet potato pie or something like that, like, for those of you, okay, some have been, and, like, you walk into a kitchen and they're gonna, like, we're gonna cook you sweet potato pie, and, like, there's no sweet potatoes, and you're like, girl, how are you gonna make this sweet potato pie? And they're like, we're just gonna make it work. I walked into this kitchen, and Michelle and the entire crew and the entire creative team and all the writers and directors and all the other cast members, every single ingredient was there. And they brought those ingredients from their house. It's in their life already. So this is gonna be the best pie. And the House of Balenciaga was like the most delicious cherry on top. Well, maybe not a cherry on a sweet potato pie. Topping.
Whipped cream.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I cook.
Some sweet potato pie.
And I definitely cook, okay?
Yes, she does, bitch. Okay. But it's like, then, when Michelle had already said, like, I want this to feel really authentic and all this, and I knew that. But then when the House of Balenciaga got there, and that was a surprise. I didn't know.
That was Grace Edwards, who's an amazing writer and producer on the show, who did season 1 and 2 and also worked on Running Point. So this bitch is a badass bitch. Follow her on Instagram if you can. She worked on 2 shows that are in the top 10 on Netflix right now. So she's an amazing mind. She wrote this. She wrote the categories Love Bitch. She wrote this episode because she also is part of the community. And what we want to do is have big set pieces and really just celebrate the culture and who we are, and then also definitely use it as a vehicle for something else to happen in the story. And everybody else has their little things that is such a beautiful vehicle for that to happen too. And so the way it all came together is Yancey, the head of our hair department, is one of the founding fathers, the House of Balenciaga. So when Peppermint says the call is coming from inside the house, it is.
But you know what? It's what's even more impressive, and this is like my perception of this, but like, having all of that is so great, and there have been other shows that want to get it right when it comes to queer storylines, but the fact that when I walked into that room, into that, the stuff that y'all saw, like the wedding reception, I was like, oh, they spent a coin on this. Like, they were like, no, we're gonna do this, and this is what it's gonna be. And they invested in it. Like, you could tell it was important to get it right. And it just felt great. And I'm grateful.
Trans women deserve a fucking happy ending, period. You know what I mean? Spend that money. We ain't have no avocados on set, but we had fresh flowers.
we're getting towards the end, but I want to take a few. I've got some audience questions here, and so I want to ask a few questions from the audience, if that's all right. Yeah. All right. So this first one, the question is for you, Michelle. Yeah. What's your Cash App? No. No. What advice do you have for someone who had a huge heartbreak, like in season 1 and 2, and who feels lost in their life in their late 30s?
Damn. Well, I mean, I wrote my character being cheated on because I've been cheated on. Most of the women in my family have been cheated on. So I've seen a lot of women in my family figure out how to pick up and move on from something terrible like that. And so what's important is to feel your motherfucking feelings. Feel it, talk about it, get a therapist, talk to that friend you never talked to so they hear something new because you already used up all the coins with the friend you talk to all the time. And walk. Start slow. You gotta move your body in a joyful way. You don't have to go out dancing. You don't have to go to the gym. Walk. Clear your mind. Take time for yourself. You deserve that. And then figure out what the next step is. It's not gonna happen all at once. But I promise you, when you get to the other side, it's gonna be some really good shit you get to talk about.
One of the things that's really amazing, you've talked about sort of the love you've all poured into this show, and there's a lot of love in all of these questions. And this is a question for everybody, but before I ask the question, and anyone can take it, this is a question from Sanaya, and she wrote, "Thank you for being a part of me finding my confidence." So, yeah.
Sanaya! I love you, baby!
And now here is Sanaya's question. What's your Cash App? No, sorry. No. How do you relate to your character? And that's for anyone. How much do you all relate to your character?
Well, I'm just a very honest person. I feel like I'm No, I think just honesty, boldness, fearlessness. I would say I relate with that, as far as Marley's concerned, because I've been through a whole lot. So I'm not scared of shit, pretty much, okay? and I'm going to say what I feel. I would say that's how I relate to her.
Yes, you do. I'm an only child. I'm super tight with my mom. I talk to her like she's a peer because I care about her so much. There's I think even in the show, I try to play Khalil as a dude who's like, I'm cool around anybody. Let me say this real quick. I'm gonna talk about what you sent me yesterday. So Peppermint sent me this long ass text yesterday, okay? Long. You know those texts where you be like, I can't read this right now. But I saw it this morning, and it was, and the gist of it was thanking me, but you didn't have to do that because I rock with you, right? And it was to me, it's very cool because, man, if you cool, I'm cool. And she was just going, man, I always thank you for being cool. And I go, yeah, but you cool. And to me, I guess it doesn't even, I don't even think about it because I go, why ain't everybody just cool? Right? I mean, that's just how I think about it. So I try to play Khalil that way, just a dude who's very chill, get along with everybody. As long as you're not an asshole, we cool. And so that's how I relate to it. And I think I've been given the opportunity to do that. And as we move forward, hopefully, look, turn that shit off.
Do you have to take your birth control pill now?
Somebody supposed to be at the bus stop right now.
Is it time for the Ozempic? What happened?
But that's how I would answer that. That like it's I try to portray it the way I actually am, being someone else, but kind of even keel, always chill, very positive. I mean, may say the wrong thing at the wrong time, but also the intention is always good, and just trying to be the person that you want to hang out with.
Oh my God, that's accurate.
Because I can read.
Pep, what about you?
Well, I mean, I've said this before, but season 1, my agent called me and was like, oh, there's a new show. It's a comedy, blah, 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 blah. And you should, you want to audition for it? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, before you look at the thing and send in a tape, you should know that the character is a black trans woman who is a drag entertainer who lives in Harlem. And I was like, that's perfect, because I am a black trans woman who's a drag entertainer who lives in Harlem. And they're like, well, there's one more thing you should know. The character's name is Peppermint. And I was like, oh, well, if I don't get it, who's gonna play? and so obviously, I auditioned. Obviously, I got it. I'm so happy.
Like, what happened? Did they call back?
But so there's a lot that I feel like I could bring to this, and Michelle and I, over the past year and a half, we've gotten a chance to hang out and get closer, and so we've had some really, very candid conversations, and I've told her all about my love life and everything going on, and and I love that she takes, again, from her real life and puts it into the show and writes it into the show. I've never been married. And so I was really nervous to be able to do something like this season, but I know that this is, like, especially right now, like, I live in a country right now where my president is directing his Department of State to revoke the passports of trans people. I live in a country right now my president is directing his Health and Human Services to revoke access to health care for trans people. That's the country I live in right now. And so I want to live in a world, in a country where loving a trans person publicly is not a shameful thing. And that has been written into the show, and it's beautiful.
Oh my goodness. I mean, especially on this day, Trans Visibility Day, thank you, Peppermint, for all that you do. Thank you. I know what that feels like, to have that imposter syndrome for something like you don't think you could ever do in your life. I couldn't carry my kids. My body couldn't be at a surrogate. And so I've played a pregnant woman twice. And both times I had a full-on anxiety attack before I shot. Because I'm like, how am I going to give birth? How am I going to pretend to be this thing and have this moment that I've never had before? So I understand that fully. And also I know that, when Obama fought for gay marriage to be legal, so many of my friends were like, I don't even know if I want to be married, because I always thought I never could be. And so when the world has taught you, you won't do this, it's illegal, then you start to think that of yourself. And so that's also for Peppermint, that's also, for Khalil to think, well, you just got to figure it out and don't talk about it. Just figure it out and life is okay. And if it's not okay, it's still good enough. That's for Marley to walk into places and spaces and say, I deserve to be here. My dad always told me, because my dad also is a little bit of Marley, as a Haitian man in white spaces. Oh, suck passe, yeah. So like in spaces in white America that he shouldn't be, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, he always told me, Michelle, you never work for a thank you, you leave with a you're welcome. And so Mavis is actually named after my grandmother. Because again, it's so awesome to hear Mavis all the time. That's how I keep her alive. She was a strong black woman. She was a community organizer. She didn't care where the fuck you came from, as long as you were a good person and had clean hands. No, I checked the fingernails, they're clean. And and me as Mavis, it's messy, she's figuring it out, it's sex positive, and I've always said the mission statement I told myself, and I don't know when or how I told myself this, it's not me that needs to catch up to the world, it's the world that needs to catch up to us, period.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what's so beautiful about this show is showing a possibility of a better world that we all want to live in. And I think when we see the four of you, even though you are playing characters, there is a true love and friendship here that I feel like we all got to witness and got to enjoy. And hopefully you will go and enjoy the rest of season 2. Please make a lot of noise for Michelle, for Peppermint, for Tasha, for Tone. Thank you all so much.